What's happening, collective? Welcome back to New World Angel. I am done with the elemental reading. So today, I am going to do an extended today because it's been a minute since I have done one. And I might come back on, not that you guys would know, because I'm not at a point where I do lives, but I'm getting there. Probably going to come back and do a late night reading. I like late night readings, especially when it rains. It's the best. We're going to see what's going on in the energy today. So come on in, get yourself comfy, cozy. Get yourself a fridge sig if you have one. And let's see what's going on with my collective today. Happy Monday. And happy birthday, Taurus. It is your season, your solar return. Yes, you are owed a lump sum of money, collective. So if there was a doubt in your mind, just know it's there and you are owed it. All right, spirit, angels, and ancestors of the highest white light, let's give our collective an awesome reading that they absolutely need to hear. What does my collective need to hear today? Comedy and or comedian. Brandon Jackson, are you in my energy? There seems to be a whole lot of people from my hometown watching me. But then again, I have a whole lot of new listeners all around. So, comedy. And or comedian. Oh, okay. What else? You know, I dated a comedian. I dated a comedian once. It wasn't funny. Actually, comedians tend to be the darkest individuals I have ever met in my life. Because you need to pull from the darkness in order to find, and you've probably gone through a lot in your life too, you need to pull from the darkness in order to find the light, and that light is laughter. So maybe even in your life in general, maybe it was dark for a considerable amount of time. Dark in a sense of like, either you've gone through a lot in your upbringing to get you into a point of comedy, or just the world of comedy and comedians is dark in general, which maybe you have a dark sense of humor too. I don't know. I just have seen a lot of comedians just go through a lot in their life, and they tend to pull on that as a way to not only alleviate the energy within them, but also those around them. Yeah, maybe you've just seen a lot in your life. Reminds me of Cat Williams. Man, that guy's got some stories. Research or studying. You researching a comedian? Or a comedian is just researching? Maybe that's how you found me. Yeah, how did you find me if you're a comedian or you're into comedy? That's an interesting place to find yourself in. I bet you didn't even see yourself coming here, did you? Which is funny in and of itself. I like it. Cool. What else? Why did I bring up the guy that because I felt like he wasn't even that funny, first of all. This was like back in the day. Oh my God, I'll never forget. This is the other thing too. I was dating him right out of high school. So what? I'm like 17, 18. I can't even remember how I met the guy, because it wasn't at a time where like online dating was really a thing. But anyway, I somehow met him, and dude ended up being like damn near 30. Yeah, dating 17, 18-year-old. And I'll never forget, I brought him home, and my mom and like, they were like, who is this guy? Like, he had facial hair, right? And they're like, Anyway, that was weird and dark in and of itself. I went out on one date and never talked to the guy again. God, those were simpler times when you could just not talk to somebody ever again, and then that's it. You don't have to worry about cell phones or being ghosted. Like, well, I guess he was ghosted, but whatever. What was my other? Oh, Pauly Shore. I think I've mentioned this on my channel before. If you're listening to me, or if you just, because you're a comedian and you're into comedy, maybe you have a connection to Pauly Shore, in which case you could apologize to him on my behalf for me heckling him the entire time he was performing at Zanies here in Nashville. Now, granted, I was in college and I was hammered off of, I think it was LITs and Rob Roy's. Why, I don't know, but that poor man, by the time I met him outside, I was like swaying side to side, and I remember him flicking me in the forehead and telling me, what did he say to me? Oh my God, he said, he flicked me on the he patted me on the head and then flicked me on the forehead and said something like, you're special or something like that. Anyway, I love you, Pauly Shore. I'm sorry I heckled you. I'm sure you've dealt with that a lot, but for some reason it bothers me that I did that because I was really fucking annoying. Like, why did I not get kicked out? Anyway, maybe that's relevant for you. Were you kicked out of a comedy club or something? Up and Out. It's gonna be an interesting one. Great storyteller. You're a great storyteller. All comedians tend to be, because you gotta get your point across, right? At least the pertinent details. I just got chills all over me, so I don't know. Something. Indigenous communities. Okay, maybe I am talking to Brandon Jackson or Cat Williams. Nikki Glazer is not an indigenous community unless she's like part black and we just didn't know it, in which case, kudos to you. What else? What's going on in the comedy or comedian world? Researching Up and Out. Maybe you're getting up and out of comedy. Maybe you're stepping into a new genre. You don't even have to be a comedian, but maybe you're doing your research on something else. An international crime syndicate, perhaps? Maybe you're coming to me to gather some content based on my storyline, because I definitely am involved in an international crime syndicate, victim of. So, sure, it's hilarious. I got tons of stories to tell. What else? Or perhaps a comedian is a part of an international crime syndicate. You're not seeing something clearly, though. Okay? So whatever you're researching and studying about, you're missing a key detail. Up and out. I got you, babe. You know, it actually does remind me of Brandon. And I'm not trying to clout chase here. I just went to elementary school with him. But for like two years there, I'd say we were closer friends. And I remember us having a conversation out on the playground. Granted, this was like first or second grade. I don't even know if he remembers this or not. But he told me, because he stood up for me, like somebody was bullying me or whatever. That was something that followed me my entire life. It's a part of this international crime syndicate. Bullying galore. But I remember him standing up for me, and he pulled me aside later and said, I'll always protect you. And that's what I got you, babe, reminds me of. Not that he ever called me babe, but he did say, like, I'll always protect you. And I just thought that that was like a lasting impression that I had of him. And then we just, like, you know, drifted apart and went to different schools and whatnot. So anyway, if you're seeing me, I hope you're doing well. I hope your comedy career is everything you want it to be. What else? Where were you during the International Crime Syndicate, Brandon? Or maybe that's what you're researching. I don't fucking know. Let's see. What else? Relocation. Oh, maybe yeah. Okay, maybe you're doing research on maybe just different parts of the world, or like places that you plan to travel. I wonder if that's a part of like your thing. You do research before you go to a new location so that you can kind of like clue into their, like, the cities or states like mentality, like what they would get behind and what they wouldn't. That could be it. What else for my collective? I mean, there's so many different comedians that it could be. You might not even have a name yet. Hell yeah! Okay, well, you're pumped about something. Maybe you're pumped about a new location that you're going to, this new location. If you're coming to Nashville, hopefully you have a kinder crowd than what I was part of. The crowd that I was during the show. Fucking jerks. God, that is a hard job. To make people laugh. I'm sure it's gratifying once you do get the laugh, but like, I don't know, the rejection of not getting the payoff after like you've done a lot of research and like crafting of the joke itself, only for it not to like come across right, or just crickets, or you get heckled, like the whole, that's just, I don't know, I would not be able to deal with that. Something about you is effervescent. You have like a lightness, like an aura about you. There's a light around you. Yeah, like wherever you go, maybe you're not even trying to be funny, and like you just, that could be the other thing, is like maybe you got into comedy not even thinking that you were funny to begin with, and it just sort of like happened randomly. That is totally Cat Williams' story. Seedy environments. Am I talking to Cat Williams? I have goosebumps all over me right now. Cat Williams, or I don't know. There's just so many comedians out there. Kevin Hart, even. Maybe the two of you are together. I don't know. Remember, people are always scared of what they don't understand. Next to relocation. Maybe you're scared of this move. Or maybe as a part of your research and due diligence, you're like, oh shit, like she's calling me out. And that's scary. I even scare myself. Let me tell you this. I've only come into my gifts in the last, truly in the last year. But I've been working on it for the last several years. And let me tell you, especially the reading I just did before this for the air signs, freaked myself out. Channeled the energy before it even came out in the cards, and then sure as shit what I was talking about, fertility struggles, came out in the cards. I scared myself. So if you're watching me and you're like, oh fuck, like this is wild, trust me, I know. I freak myself out. Something about, are you a night owl? Well, you would have to be if you're in comedy clubs. Pets and or nature spirits are important to you. Maybe you have like a little travel companion with you too. And if you don't, maybe you need to get one. That would be helpful, especially to keep you grounded. Fertility struggles here. I cleanse the energy, so. Claim progress, not perfection. Claim progress, not perfection. Brighter days are just ahead. Next to seedy environments. I don't know if this is current. So if you don't listen, especially if you're doing research and studying and you don't listen to tarot very often, but somehow you found your way to me, when it comes to tarot, this can be past, current, or future energy. A lot of the readings I did a year ago on my last channel, Into the Mystic, I have found that a lot of those readings were future readings to what is currently happening now. So if some of this partly resonates with you and your storyline, that doesn't mean that some of this won't come into fruition. Or if you resonate with all of it, it could be a past reading too. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, oh, something about get ready. Physical health. In regards to seedy environments, yeah, wherever you were wasn't good for your health. Your true origins will be revealed soon. Next to seedy environments, missed opportunity. Music. Am I speaking to Brandon? You were, the only reason why I say that is because you were in Kendrick Lamar's music video. And I know that comedy is your thing. But then again, there's a lot of other people that cross genres. So maybe you're trying to cross into music somehow? Something about your scent. Like, I get that, like, your energy lingers. Yeah, like, you're kind of, like, unforgettable. And that's probably why I would assume that you're successful in what you do. Because your energy lingers. What else for my collective? You're hard to define. Yeah, I get like multifaceted. Maybe you're into music, comedy, even acting. Kevin Hart. Or maybe just like you, yeah. Something about like you kind of keep people on your toes, on their toes. Third house of communication, siblings, neighborhoods, communities, groupings. Yeah. Groundlings, even, Second City. Networking, contracts, speed, duality. The ability to think on your toes, Mercury energy, like fast moving communication. Yeah, that definitely resonates with your world. I would assume like the opportunities, like if people cancel shows last minute or whatever, and like, you're looking to, I don't know, just get out there and have more jobs, that the need to like pick up contracts last minute and like peace out, relocate real quick is like probably a part of your world. Or at least, when you're getting started, the need to like be flexible and move. Yeah, maybe even amongst like siblings, you're somewhat hard to define too. You got those good vibrations, honey. You do. You do. World news worthy. That's right under great storyteller. Pivot. That's right next to relocation. Ooh. Yeah, maybe you just draw a lot of attention and you're like at a pivot point to where like comedy got you so far that now you're moving into, you're doing your research and studying in a different genre or a different world that requires relocation. Like I said, like doing your research on cities and states that you might be traveling to so that you can kind of connect with your audience a little bit more too. Something about people are always scared of what they don't understand, next to your aunt. Or a aunt figure. There's a need for you to advocate for yourself with a missed opportunity. There's something you need to say to an aunt. Maybe the missed opportunity was due to your aunt. I don't know in what sort of way, but like, or somebody that was close to you in your world, sort of like, I don't know, maybe didn't see the potential in you or in this opportunity for you, and so you could have passed it up. There's a need for you to look for signs from your guides. Look for signs from your guides. Okay, this is interesting. Refresher. Comedy and or comedian. Research and studying. Up and out. Yeah, doing your research. I feel like putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into your craft. Especially regarding being a great storyteller, world news worthy, so you're garnering attention. There is an international crime syndicate somehow attached to you or this community or family that you're involved in, potentially with your aunt, that you're not seeing clearly. So maybe that's why you've come to me, is to try to figure something out. But you're like, I got you, babe. Relocation. You do have support. I got you, babe. Maybe that's me. I got you, babe. Yeah. Relocation. Pivot. Hell yeah. Effervescent. Seedy environments. Remember, people are always scared of what they don't understand. There's an aunt somehow involved. Night owl. Pets and or nature spirits. Your true origins will be revealed soon. Somehow there was a missed opportunity, possibly with your true origins and them not being revealed. But there's going to be a need for you to advocate for yourself, somehow tied to music. You are hard to define. Like, you can't be placed into a category. Like, if you were music personified, you can't be placed into a category. So maybe you just cross the realms of different places that it's hard for you to be like placed in one area. You're not pop, you're not hip hop, you're not country, you know, like you're just kind of an amalgamation of them all. Something having to do with communication, siblings, third house, neighbors, communities, possibly, you know, this aunt situation. You do have those good vibrations, though. You're very effervescent. Like, you leave an essence with you. People remember you. And then we end off with look for signs from your guides. There's a need to do that. I'm gonna do real quickly, what's going on with this ant situation? Give us what's the vibe on the ant situation? Vibe on the ant situation. What does collective need to know about this ant? Chaos, upheaval, disaster, downfall. Maybe they're just a very chaotic type of person. Like tornado. Established, settled, secure, and wealthy. You ever find that people that tend to be mostly secure on the outside, from like if you were to just see them on the street, you're like, oh, that person has their shit together, and come to find out like they're actually really fucking wealthy. They have the most fucking chaotic lives, whether that's internally or who they deal with externally, but their lives are like weirdo. That's what I get from this energy, is like this ant is very much established. You know, she's settled, she's secure, she's wealthy, but yet there's a chaotic nature about them. Feminine energy, gentleness, nurturing, mothering. So they're probably a mother. But they're masked. They're not hiding, concealing, deception. They're not showing you who they really fucking are. What else about this ant? Puzzled. They're confused. You're not seeing something clearly. You're not seeing something clearly about them, and they're not seeing something clearly themselves. They're confused, perplexed, conflicted, possibly about a glow up that you're having, new opportunities, new career, successful business. They're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why this person? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, maybe if you were focused on yourself, you wouldn't be so confused about others. Huh? What else about this ant? Anything else? Anything else about this ant? Somehow they factor into your story. A broke ass? What are they? Maybe that's what they're masking, is that they're not as wealthy as they seem. Or maybe they're dealing with a broke ass. Or they're just spiritually broke, right? Like they're just confused. They're perplexed for some reason about a glow up. Career opportunities, and it's like, I thought wealth was important to you. Can't you just buy your own happiness? But no, apparently you can't. Talking shit, gossip behind your back, spreading lies, smiling in your face. Maybe that's why you relocated, is to get the fuck away from them. Fake flexing, acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off, etc. You sound like a loser. And they're uninterested. It's like, okay. Dirty offer. Maybe because of like your career success or trajectory that you're headed on, or did head in, or will be headed in, they're totally confused by this. It seems like they're just a lost person, and they're more concerned with outward appearances than any sort of amount of reflection. So that's a personal problem. Yeah. Moving on and away from this ant situation, give us the tea on just, these can be like timeline, key identifying factors, just things to resonate with your storyline. It doesn't have to be like super critical. You'll see what I'm saying. Marriage. This is 7th house energy. I don't know. Maybe you're currently considering marriage, just got married. They're considering marriage. Or maybe they're getting involved in your marriage for some reason. I don't know. What else is going on? Or you could just be married. What else is going on with the collective? We want key details that can connect to their storyline before I get into the extended. Key details. Sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. Yeah, that's your relocation. It's a dawning of a new day. New opportunities, like the sun rises yet again. I get like death and rebirth energy from this, like a reinvention of sorts. Success, yes. Whatever trajectory you're on, the success will find you if it hasn't already. Older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. If she is overly concerned with appearances, maybe this will get her into her feels a little bit. Such an asshole sometimes. Whatever. These people sometimes need to be put in their place, especially with fake flexers. It's like, fuck off. You're disgusting. I hate people that are just inauthentic, truly. Because I am like way more authentic than, I am the most misunderstood person, first of all, and the most authentic. It's like, how can anybody fuck up my energy and get me misconstrued? it's because it's all in their head. It's like I literally say what I'm thinking out loud. But yet, maybe that's the same for you too. Like you are just I mean, you're hard to define. You're just totally, you have some sort of level of effervescence about you that confuses your family, but to the rest of the world doesn't confuse them. Because you're getting success. So these fake flexers, inauthentic people can go crawl in a hole and die. Okay? Bye. Vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Is that why you came to me? Is because you're like curious as to whether somebody is out to get you or not? When it comes to this older woman? My thoughts are initially, maybe. For right now, though, I just get that they're just thoroughly confused with your success. Maybe they saw that they would be more successful than you in life, and for you to be garnering attention so much so that it's requiring you to relocate or just you're up and out, that it just confuses the shit out of them. And if they've known you your entire life and you know, you've gone through some shit that they are unaware of, then maybe, like, I mean, it's not for you to explain to them, but that could totally be the reason for your success. Maybe you've just been through a lot, you know? I don't know. Let me just real quickly, okay. This should give you enough energy as to whether or not this reading is for you. And if it is, then come join me over at New World Angel under extended YouTube readings, and I'll go on for like another 45 minutes or so. I'm gonna get like real quickly an energy read from you because I can't tell where you're at. Like I get good energy from you, and I get like weird flexing like fakeness from this ant situation, but I also don't get that they're like, they play a huge role in your world currently. So anyway, I want to get into that, and then I want to get into sort of what your guides are trying to tell you, because that is the last piece to this reading. It's look for signs from your guides, and I want to understand, like, you're coming to me for a certain reason, research and studying, but your guides are trying to tell you something, so maybe I can be the channel and conduit for you on that. So, I hope this was helpful thus far, and I hope to see you over at New World Angel. If not, then I will see you on the next reading. I love you, Collective. Bye.